Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Vince Sims and welcome to 5 Talk Street. Okay, this past year, it's been quite a year for all of us. In the Dallas Black Dance Theater, it has certainly had its challenges. This 44-year-old dance company had to reinvent its stage when all the venues closed due to the pandemic. So the company made the Dallas landscape and its many notable locations their stage. That decision resulted in exciting and successful adaptations of many of its performances from the stage to film. Joining me now is Nicole Ray. She is the artistic director for DBDT Encore, and she's here to tell us all about the company and 2 upcoming performances. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
We know the Dallas Black Dance Theater, it has a strong spirit, and it never stopped dancing through the pandemic, really, because we were watching. Tell us how that all worked out.
Well, we knew we had to be really inventive with everything that was going on. And so we really wanted to stay connected with everyone. So we started doing everything virtually. And we started making these videos. The dancers were very collaborative with that. And then when it came to performances, we were like, let's do this in the landscape of Dallas. And so we went out into the arts district and even went further out to find spaces that would help bring everything together with the dancing and the surrounding areas. And so that's been really fun, but also challenging as well. you know, Mother Nature isn't always our best friend. And so doing things outside weren't always conducive to the dancers, but they were troopers because they were really excited about all of our projects. And so cold weather, rain, like all different types of scenarios there, but the dancers really stepped up to the plate and made wonderful videos to share with everyone.
And that's an amazing way to actually keep the spirit going and keep people engaged, leave it to artists to be artistic with what they're doing. Talk to us a little bit about some of the locations that were chosen. I mean, some of them were kind of rather unique, I guess you could say.
Yes. Well, we were at the Nasher Sculpture Center. We were in some abandoned parking garages. We've gone out to Bonton Farms, which was absolutely wonderful. Also abandoned railroad tracks. And then we've had some wonderful companies that had open, unleased space that they allowed us to be in as well. And so just really, it made it feel collaborative with those organizations, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And it was always like, oh, for the dancers, oh, that's where we're going to do this. So we just wanted to keep changing things up. We were running out of areas in the arts district, and so we thought, well, let's really venture out and show people other parts of Dallas.
I really like that concept. I mean, the stage is obviously beautiful to see people dancing there, but when you change up that background, it just gives it a new perspective to me. So hopefully some of that sticks around as we move forward. Just want to ask you, you will have a performance coming up this week. Tell us about it.
Yes, it is Rising Excellence. It is part of the season for DBDT Encore. It's pretty much their whole season all summed up into this performance. And so we're going to be premiering 3 new works for Encore, and one of them will be a world premiere choreographed by myself called 19th. And that is in celebration for the centennial of the 19th Amendment that happened last year. So we're going to celebrate it this year.
And the company has also been working, another one coming up in May as well?
Exactly, yes. That is Spring Celebration. And so Dallas Black Dance Theater will be performing for that performance. And it's something that we have every year, and we wanted to really keep true to that. And so we'll be doing that. That's Spring Celebration that will be happening in May.
And it seems like dancers at Dallas Black Dance Theater get the opportunity to spread their wings a little bit and do choreography as well. How do you make that transition from dancer to choreographer?
Yeah. We have a program here called Black on Black. And with Black on Black, the dancers that are interested in choreography get to choreograph on one another. And so they get to hone in on their skills. And so that's a wonderful platform that we have for them to explore and create. And even from that, we've taken some works that were really good and put them on the main stage. And so we've been doing that for, oh, I don't know, maybe going on 10 years now. And so some wonderful pieces have come from that. And so that's a wonderful platform for our dancers to have the opportunity to choreograph, but also to be able to work with their peers in a different kind of way. It's very different dancing next to someone and then telling someone how to do something and what you want them to do. And so it's all part of the learning here at Dallas Black Dance Theater. We want to make sure we have well-rounded dancers, but also well-rounded people.
As you mentioned the performance coming up, and you mentioned 19th on women's suffrage, how do you translate history into dance?
Well, for me, I didn't want it to be literal. So I wanted to have different aspects of it. Yes, there was the marching and people going to jail. And I imagined in my head, what would that have been like to actually go to jail then? And for women, that wasn't something that was very common, of course, and to really try to have their voices heard. And so I also wanted to explore what was it like in the relationship between man and woman in a more intimate level. And perhaps this woman is supported by her spouse, and perhaps she is not. And how does she navigate through that? There's so many different aspects to it that I could have taken, but I wanted it to be slightly quirky in a way, and not literal. And so I referenced time within the piece in terms of a clock and how long it took for this to happen. I make reference to newspaper headings about the suffrage movement, and you'll see that as part of the costuming for the piece. And so I have lots of little small references in there
right.
for different things.
Well, Nicole,
Yeah.
let me ask you this, because it sounds amazing. Give us the information. How can people find out about getting tickets to the virtual performances before we wrap up?
All they need to do is go to dbdt.com and get more information about tickets. That's DallasBlackDanceTheater.com, dbdt.com, for both Rising Excellence and Spring Celebration.
Nicole, thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much, Vince. I appreciate you guys.
And like she just said, if you'd like to support the Dallas Black Dance Theater performances, visit dbdt.com.